Hey, ¿qué pasa, cracks? Bienvenidos a un nuevo episodio de Vampire. Vale, habla con Lord Redgrave sobre Doris Fletcher. Pues vamos para allá. Vamos camino otra vez donde estábamos. Hemos venido a Whitechapel a curar a la peña. Es aquí, ¿verdad? Vale.
For as long as I've been a member, I've never seen so few vampires attending the club nights.
Ojo, mira quién está aquí.
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I
¿A su hombre? ¿Quiere decir que somos
Please
pareja?
forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
Ok. ¿Tiene nada?
We'll talk.
¿Podemos preguntarle nada? No. ¿A ti, señor?
I have a boat ready to go whenever I want. These hunters won't catch me.
Hola,
Good
señor.
evening, Dr. Reed. Have a drink and enjoy this night, for it could be our last. I personally went patrolling last night in the West End. and I
Welcome back to
spotted
the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer.
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told.
Exactamente.
Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
No solo soy un médico, aún tengo algunas preguntas. He hecho todo lo que está en mi mano.
I did my best.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task.
Otra tareita.
One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I
Quiero que
want you to
engendro.
recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire. Are you sending me on
No.
some sort of
Misión
diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Econ he deserves to be.
Dawson es el humano que está dentro, ¿no? Hostia. No estoy seguro.
I'm not sure I'm the best candidate for such a task.
I can hear the hesitation in your voice, Dr. Reed.
Hostia, ahora
I
lo quieren
admire your
convertido.
principles. But in this matter, there is more at stake than your moral comfort.
It's not a moral question, Lord Redgrave. It's the responsibility of giving immortality to a man I barely know.
Nonsense. Aloysius has been a member of the Ascalon for years. This is but the fruition of a long-held plan.
Ahora damos la inmortalidad y se convierte en el boss final.
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate.
Vamos, que hay que
this
hacerlo, sí, sí.
momentous occasion.
Tengo
Before I
preguntas.
go,
All right. I'm
¿Por qué Aloysius Dawson?
why Aloysius?
because he is about to die, and he just may be the most influential man in England, after me, of course.
¿Sabes? Quería por él.
Does he know I'm?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed.
Ah, bueno, pues si está de acuerdo.
Especially now.
¿Me eligió él?
Did he?
No, I did. My decision is very
Vale, no lo ha elegido él. ¿Cómo debería
How
proceder?
would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
¿Si tengo un riesgo?
any-
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that
Hostia.
some don't survive the
Lo mismo la
metamorphosis.
casca, ¿sabes? Que estaba yo.
They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
Está entrenado, ¿no?
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Uy, lo paso así.
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood.
Vale, solo con beber nuestra sangre, vale. Invito a Lady
You
Ashbury.
invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. but considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then.
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Goodbye, Lord.
¿Verdad? Pero había... Espérate.
Understand.
Goodbye.
Ah, vale. Digo, había otra preguntita.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
Es un recurso muy útil, me gustaría saber qué opina. A ver, me gustaría saber qué opina, ¿no? Pues si está de acuerdo el otro.
The real question here is, why has his lordship
Eso es
given
verdad.
you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only
Joder.
lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Joder.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage and only capable of creating skulls.
Hostia.
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
Vale. Consejo sobre el asunto de Dawson.
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor?
Sí, eso no lo
Do
contó.
not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the
Sacar
reaper
carso.
harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
What would
A
happen
ver, me fío
if
más
I
de
made
esta que la
Dawson
del presidente de los Ascalos, la verdad. O sea,
Powerful immortal into
esta nos
a
acompaña desde el
soul.
principio de la historia.
An immortal who
A no ser que esta vaya a ser luego la mala.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
También es verdad, ¿eh?
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
Sí.
How can you be sure the...
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while
O sea,
investigating your maiden.
está ahí puesto como el más tocho, pero
About Lord
es un
Redgrave.
mierdecilla, solo sabe crear skulls.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall, and yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
Ok.
Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, my dear. Please.
Pues no sé si nos dará luego la opción de matarlo al otro, ¿eh? Antes de convertirlo. A ver, yo me fío más de Lady Ashbury. ¿Me he tirado?
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
¿O para la iglesia? Vale, me voy a tener que pegar con estos, ¿no? Venga, a tu casa, crack. A la vuestra casita. Hostia. Aquí tiene pinta de que se va a liar. No tenía que haber usado la habilidad tocha. La tenía que haber guardado. Porque ahora... ¡Ey, ey, ey, ey! Joder, cómo pega con eso, tú. Joder, cómo pega eso, ¿eh? Cuidado, 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 cuidado. ¡No! Me hago con todo. Me he quedado ahí enganchado. Ah, no, me mata, me mata, me mata. Ah, no, no, no me mata, no me mata. Vale, vale, vale. A ver qué pone esto. ¿Dónde se lo como? ¡Ah! Y se quedan ahí parados. Serán perros. Cuidado, cuidado, cuidado. Pero vaya mierda, tío. Pero vaya bug. Pero vaya bug, hermano. Vaya bug. Vaya bugazo. No. Eso me mata ya, tío. Me mata, tío. Vaya bug, tío. Cuidado, cuidado, cuidado. Fuera. Fuerita, fuerita. Y esto. Vale, por aquí. No, tampoco se puede entrar. No, cuarentena. Grabado por la neumonía. Pues nada, a encontrar otro caminito. Que va a tener que ser por aquí, seguro. Nos toca darnos de hostias con él. Utiliza mucho la sombra, como nosotros. Hola, hola, hola. Aunque a él la sombra no le afecta poco, Cuidado, cuidado, cuidado. ¡Cuidado! ¡Ay, nos dio, tío! Me voy a curar porque no me fío. Tía, la sombra suya es potente, Hay que esquivarle muchísimo, tío. ¡Ay, ay, ay, ay! Hay que esquivarle mucho, 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 tío. Vale. Por suerte le hemos cogido. Le hemos cogido el truco, le hemos cogido el truco. Bien. Quitamos todo esto. Pues ya podíamos cogerle el sable ese, tío, porque tiene pinta de reventar que no vea. Vale, esta sí que será la entrada secreta, sí o sí. Alcantarilla solo me recuerda al hombre rata ese. Y no son buenos recuerdos. No son buenos recuerdos, la verdad.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Vale, por lo menos una ratita nos hemos llevado.
This is despicable.
Vale, por aquí por la izquierda hay algo. Esto solo. Ahí hay un cadáver. Esto se puede llegar por... Entiendo que será por aquí, pero habrá que abrir la puerta por otro lado. ¿No se puede subir? No. ¡Bu! ¡Hostia! Leon Augustulin se llama. No, tú ahí quietecito. Hostia, pues le hemos quitado muy poca vida, ¿eh? ¡Oh! Vaya hostia, tú. Hostia, lo que pega, tío. Hostia, este va a costar, ¿eh? Sí que es cierto que es lento. Me pillas bien los movimientos. ¡Oh! Madre de Dios, cómo suenan los golpes, tú. Es lento, pero claro, si te quedas sin resistencia. Buah, ya me está sacando. Ya está sacando mierda, tío. Deja de sacar mierda, bro. No, cuidado. Vale, suelen ser 3 golpes ahí, ¿no? No sé dónde está, tío. No lo veo. Vale. ¡Hostia! ¡Puta, tío! ¿Qué hostias mete, colega? Yo creo que uno más, ¿eh? Si aguantamos uno más. ¡Hostia! Es mal que... Hagamos esa táctica y tenemos sangre suficiente para curarnos, ¿no? Si no... Vale, yo creo que con un ataque final más lo tenemos, ¿eh? ¡Ah! Fallé. Vale. Creo que lo tenemos, ¿eh? No, no. Vale, vale, vale. Uf. ¡Muere, muere, muere! ¡No, no, no! Cuidado, cuidado. Vale. Uff. Cuidado, si va a explotar, no me fío de eso, ¿eh? Joder. Por un momento pensaba que me mataba ya cuando le quedaba un píxel, ¿eh? Digo, no, por favor. Es la cosa.
It's locked.
Puerta cerrada. Ahora podemos usar esta. No, esta es para subir, ¿no? Y para bajar. A ver, súbela, otra vez. Entonces esta es para volver a subirla.
I cannot enter.
Allí hay otra válvula, a ver. Vale. Ok. Lo conseguimos. Pero voy a ver dónde lleva lo otro. No sé si será necesario ir por aquí. Ah, ¿sabes dónde va a llevar esto? A la alcantarilla que hemos visto antes. Que había un cadáver. Ahí está. Aquí encuentra este mensaje. Me llamo Robert Tisdale. Necesito su ayuda. Mi hija Luisa desapareció hace una semana. La última vez que la vieron fue en un bar de la zona, no donde trabaja como camarera, en la trucha bailona. 2 testigos la vieron abandonar el lugar con un hombre desconocido muy sofisticado, tal vez un extranjero. Circulan rumores de hombres y mujeres que desaparecen por aquí. Rumores de hombres y mujeres que desaparecen por aquí. Estoy convencido de que han secuestrado a mi Luis y la retienen en algún lugar de la zona. Sé que la policía no me va a ayudar. Tienen cosas más importantes que hacer. Por eso he decidido empezar a buscarla yo mismo. Si encuentro esta carta, significará que he fracasado en mi misión. Luis es muy buena persona y se merece morir así. Y no se merece morir así. No es muy alta ni muy baja. Tiene el pelo oscuro y tiene una cicatriz en la mejilla derecha. Por favor, búsquela y acabe con la tarea que yo no pude terminar. Que Dios le bendiga.
Louise's father was determined to find and save her.
Ya tenemos una pista. Vale, y esto lo abrimos. Voy a pillar la rota ya que estamos.
I have this thirst for blood.
Lo que voy a intentar abrir la puerta aquella. Nah, no me deja abrirla. Vale. ¡No! Y me pilló. Joder, hermano. Es un sitio muy chico. Digo, a ver si puedo meterle ahí la sombra, Vale, pillo por lo menos al de más vida. Vale, vale. ¿Se muere? ¿Se muere? Se muere. Buenísima. Lo hicimos poco a poco. Pues si me ha reventado. Puerta abierta, vale. ¿Qué me quieres decir con eso? ¿Quieres decir que si yo hago así ahora... Ahora tengo que bajarlo al mínimo? Ah, no, no. Vale, en principio si había que subirlo a tope, ahora supongo que habrá que bajarlo a tope, ¿no? Ahí está. Pobre Jonathan, va en la mierda, Jonathan, amigo. Estás muy reventado, colega. Como salgan enemigos ahora, es un tiro, Qué reventado está el pobre Johnny. Vale, pilla, pilla.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Oh, suena gente por ahí, ¿eh?
I have this thirst for blood.
¿Qué hay aquí arriba? Oh. Ojo, es por aquí. Vale, si tiene pinta de ser por aquí, entonces vamos a ver qué hay ahí abajo. Y por esas escaleras hay algo. ¡Ojo! Hacha corriente, ¿eh? Nuevo arma. Hacha corriente, a ver. ¿Cómo va ese arma? 126 de daño. Pero es a 2 manos, tío. 121. ¡Ojo! ¡Mirad! ¡Si tenemos el sable! Soy tonto, tenemos el sable, tío. ¿Por qué cojones no lo he visto? Tenemos el sable y es nivel 4, 140. Tiene mucho más daño que nuestro esto. Energía 20 y daño de... Hostia, es mejor el sable, hombre. Teníamos el sable y no lo habíamos visto, tío. Muy mal, ¿eh? Muy mal. Ahora sí, hombre. Tenemos el buen sable. Bueno, pues tiene pinta de ser por aquí, ¿eh? Tiene pinta de ser por aquí. A ver. Ah, esto será para salir fuera. Vale, vale. Nosotros quejándonos de que no encontrábamos armas. Y tenemos nuestro sable ahí, tío. Tío. Vale, el buen sable. ¿Sabéis qué es lo malo de este sable? Que no tiene lo de absorción de sangre que tenía el hacha. ¡Hola! Hostia, ese es muy potente, ¿eh? Bueno, no. No, eso es misión secundaria, chavales. Me estoy dando cuenta. Es misión secundaria. Abajo, arriba es la misión principal. Me acabo de dar cuenta ahora. Ya vendremos a por este cuando tengamos mejores armas. Hay que mejorar el sable. Así conseguimos ponerle otra habilidad al sable. Ojalá el que vaya pillando sangre. Porque tiene pinta de pegar más rápido que el hacha. Esto lo vamos a abrir. Para que ya podamos entrar desde aquí. Vale, tiene pinta de que se entra por aquí, ¿verdad? Vamos a investigar un poco todo. Wow, tiene de price. Aquí hay gentecilla. ¿Me cuelo? ¿Me cuelo con ella? ¡No! Yo quería hablar contigo.
It's locked, all right.
Pues te luteo a la tienda. Pues te luteo a la tienda.
Good evening, Miss.
Dr. Reed, I didn't know you had returned from the war. I had a new doctor when you left, but he's not as kind as you.
Always glad to see a former patient in good condition. It's been a long time.
Too long indeed. And as a token of my appreciation,
Ojo,
I'll
mejor
grant you
precio,
the
venga.
best price if you fancy buying anything from my humble shop.
Do you
A
know
preguntarle lo
Aloysius
tocho.
Dawson?
Everybody knows him. He's only been to my shop once, though, looking for rare books and other intriguing antiques.
Did he buy something from you?
No, he left quickly. He almost laughed at my goods. Mr. Dawson may be a rich man, but you can't buy good manners.
But isn't Aloysius Dawson known for his philanthropy?
That was before his brother Robert died in an aeroplane crash. Since then, the remaining twin has turned into a heartless tycoon.
Anda.
What
Haciendo
can
su
you tell
trabajo.
I'm still managing my shop. The only difference is, since the quarantine, we're open at night.
Un poco COVID.
On the contrary, seem to have changed a lot.
Tell me
¿Usted?
more about yourself.
Who would marry an old bat like myself with a grown daughter and a little business? As you know, I only fancy handsome men like
Ojo. Nuestra futura novia.
Really? Have I changed that much?
Los turnos de
Don't get
noche.
me wrong, Dr. Reed, you're still handsome. Just
Está enamorada,
maybe
¿eh?
a little bit wiser,
Bueno, la
more
traemos.
serious. It suits you well.
Salseo.
Have
Ahora
you
son el
noticed
barrio.
anything?
Other than you coming back to cheer me up, nothing at all, Dr. Reed.
Vale, somos lo único bueno que vemos. Que ve ella por aquí. Vale, pregunta al personaje sobre la salud de
Does
su
your
hija.
daughter still worry you, Miss Price?
Have you not seen Carol since you returned? She's almost a young woman now, but she'll always remain my sweet little baby.
So you're less afraid?
Some things never change. Carol is still too clumsy for her own good. Sometimes her innocence puts her in real danger.
Why would her innocence?
She does not realize how cruel life can be. Maybe I was a bad mother to protect her too much. My poor dear Carol.
You have every reason to be cautious, Miss Price, especially in these difficult times.
Maybe you could talk with her, Dr. Reed.
Si no se esconde en la puerta, no puedo.
Nice to have a man here more
Iba a hablar con ella, pero se ha
often.
metido
We
para ahí.
would both feel safer.
Vale, necesita... Vale, no necesita nada de curación ni nada.
Goodbye for...
Perfecto.
I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
Por ahí no podemos entrar. Pues a ver si la vemos alguna vez fuera. Podemos hablar con ella. Mira, señor, vamos a hablar contigo.
Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour? And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are and why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time
Joder,
of night?
va a hacer más preguntas que nosotros, ¿eh? Estoy aquí solo, trabajo para el Club Ascalon. No tengo tiempo para esto. Trabajo para el Club
I
Ascalon.
work for the Ascalon Club. Here is my permit to go freely about the city.
The Ascalon Club? You should have said so, sir. I must warn you, these streets
Ojo.
are dangerous. And you'd better be careful.
¿Conoces
Do
a
you
este
know
bobo?
anything in-
Who doesn't know the man? I think he intervened personally to put an end to the police strike of last August.
What else can you tell me about him?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and
Tan poderoso e
influential man
influyente.
to commit murder and get away with it. With just one phone call.
Nadie habla cosas buenas de él, ¿eh? No lo voy a convertir ni de coña.
Why are you investigating at night?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange which requires police attention?
Un narrado, quiero denunciar a Jeffrey McCullum. Conoce a Fergal Bansha. No he percibido nada raro. Quiero denunciar a Jeffrey McCullum. Hostia. A Jeffrey McCullum. Vea, vamos a decirle. McCullum es el que nos buscaba, ¿no?
I'd like to report a name, Inspector. Jeffrey McCullum. I'm afraid he's some sort of vigilante, trying to recruit an army of angry
A ver si le mandamos la
citizens.
mierda.
Then I'll write the name down and transmit this intelligence to the appropriate office. Thank you, sir.
Vamos.
What
Algo
can
sobre
you
el
tell
barrio.
me about them?
I'm the one asking questions, especially when there's a killer on the loose.
¿Qué asesino?
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with the civilians, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting? Perhaps I could help you.
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
Vale, vale.
And what about the epidemic?
We both know the situation.
O sea, hay alguien que está cubriéndose
Doctor.
por ahí.
Colleagues of
Matando
mine
y encubriéndose.
die almost every day.
What are you really?
I told you.
Soy inspector. ¿Trabaja
Do you
solo?
work alone?
Yes, the situation is difficult for the police.
What about the
Su
situation?
situación
I
del
know, it's a
Este.
shame, but we just don't have enough men to cover the entire city.
Sobre su investigación.
You invest.
I currently have a few missing persons cases. Mr. Tadao Kimura and Miss Louise Teasdale. I'm afraid they may have been abducted by my mysterious maniac.
Louise es la carta que hemos encontrado de la chica aquella.
Tell me about Louise. Do
She's a waitress. Her father...
you
Exacto,
have
eso es.
any idea where she could be?
No. But I feel she's been abducted. She went to a pub a few nights ago and vanished. I thought about the sewers, but for such
Nosotros te ayudamos, bro.
Tell me about Mr.
Mr. Kimura is a businessman. As
De varios
was
desaparecido.
last seen. Mr. Kimura was last seen at the Royal
El
Observatory.
observatorio real. Fue avistado
I
por
followed
última
a
vez.
possible lead in the West End, but I found nothing.
Vale. Hablemos sobre ese maníaco
Tell me
homicida.
all you know about that homicidal maniac you're looking for.
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same, but the modus operandi varies. Sometimes violent and brutal, sometimes precise and swift.
How could different killers inflict the same wounds?
That's my main problem. If my theory is correct, maybe we're facing a group of individuals sharing the same violent tendencies. Perhaps a sadist cult.
Goodbye.
Ok. Vale, pues hemos sacado información. Acaba de hablar con la peña de por aquí.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr.
Ya, estos son gemelos, ¿no?
Is there
Mellizos.
No, it's just your name sounds
Y
familiar.
su cara.
I think I would remember. So I suppose the answer is no.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you. My name is Pericles Baker. Does that mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure to meet you anyway.
The pleasure is mine.
Vayamos con las preguntas.
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world for a long time. I hope he found it.
Preguntas personales, no tengo nada. Su vida en Londres. ¿Qué está haciendo
Tell
aquí?
me about yourself, Mr. Baker.
We are waiting for someone.
And why are you waiting for this person?
Because we need to leave this city as soon as possible.
Why do you want to leave the city?
I'm not really sure.
Can you tell me?
Oh, dos
anything
pistas,
about
eh?
this district?
As you like asking questions so much, would you allow me to ask you one first?
Please, be my guest.
Do you like this city?
Sí.
I know we are not living in the most peaceful of times, but I have learned to appreciate London's complexity.
Yes, me too. This city.
Me invita a
But
descubrirlo.
what if we don't like what we find?
Do we ever know who we are? I wonder sometimes. Or maybe it is the journey to find out who we are that changes us.
¿A qué se dedica, señor?
I stopped working when I decided to leave. When I realized what I wanted. Wanted something this city can't provide.
But
¿A qué
what
se
will you
dedicaba?
do?
Does it really matter anymore? Considering the past seems so pointless to me. I have lived in this city all my life. And
Creo
now
que se ha terminado. ¿Por qué
Tell
quiere
me
dejarla?
more
I just don't belong here anymore. I had to convince my brother to leave London because I know we need to find another life out of the city.
Vale, pues se quieren pirar. ¿A quién
Who are
espera?
you waiting for? I'm sure he has a name.
I really can't answer that question since I don't know that person.
And why is that?
This person
No conoce a la persona con la que
is
se
my
va.
brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Only that this man could help us leave this city once and for all.
But why would you need this person's help to leave London anyway?
Well, I thought we should have left this cursed place already, but my brother convinced me to stay a while longer, and here we are.
Ok, nada más.
Goodbye, Mr.
Vamos a hablar con el
Good
hermano.
evening, sir.
Yes, please. Would you be kind enough to tell me what the time is?
That's all you need to know.
Well, is it not important to know? As important as where you are? Or who you are?
I suppose you're right. And who are you then, sir?
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother, I think we need to leave this city immediately. And my brother and I rarely agree on anything.
Vale, vamos a
What
ir
can
a
you tell
pirar.
me about...
You should ask that question to my brother instead.
Hermano. Este le delega todo al hermano, ¿eh? Hostia, este tiene
May I
preguntitas.
ask what you're doing outside?
I don't know.
You must have your own ideas.
From what I have managed to understand,
What can you tell me about...
it's the only place I've considered myself happy. Or at least that's what I believe. Unfortunately, it's time to leave.
Why is that?
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore. Are you?
¿No están happy? ¿Se quieren ir? Somos happy. Sí, sí lo
I
soy.
still enjoy living in London, no matter how difficult it can be sometimes.
Then I am sincerely happy.
Somos
for
felices
you.
mordiendo cuellos.
True happiness in life seems to be the most difficult goal to reach these days.
¿Por qué no se ha marchado aún?
I believe fear is holding us back.
A la pereza. Hablan de su hermano.
He's older than me. I think.
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached to this city, and without my insistence, he would never leave this place. We don't often agree on anything, you see.
Vale, tenemos dos pistas tenemos. ¿A quién espera exactamente? A ver si este no lo dicen.
Exactly.
The more I think about it, the more I believe it's not exactly a
Se trata de una
person
persona.
we are waiting for.
But what else could it be then?
I don't know.
Sentimiento.
An event?
Sale un poquito para allá que yo, ¿eh?
How can I tell? Something that would allow us to leave this trap.
¿Qué tipo de trampa? ¿Qué tipo de
I'm
trampa?
afraid I'm not.
Have you ever felt like life trapped you in a role that does not fit you?
Trap? And you think.
At least it will give us the chance to be free. That's more than our present situation. Hope, Doctor. Hope is what truly drives mankind.
Ok, lo tienen claro si quieren ir.
Goodbye.
Let's go. ¿Nos han gustado aquí? Pinta que va. Ha sonado, paso, ¿verdad? ¡Coño! ¡Qué susto me ha dado! Digo, escucha unos pasos. Aquí está, aquí está. Hola, señora. Oli.
Good evening, Miss Price. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you.
Dr. Reed? Yes, of course. You are the doctor who healed me and my mum. Good evening.
Good to see you too, Carol.
Oh, yes. I
Hace tiempo que no me hago daño.
Have you
¿Conoces a
ever
este
met
personaje?
friends?
Yes. A very strange man. Not very nice.
What do you mean?
He said he was ready to pay good money for rare books. And then laughed at what we showed him.
Personaje de... ¿Te gusta
Do
trabajar con
you
tu madre?
enjoy?
Oh, yes, Doctor. My mother raised me alone after my father died. We've always lived together. And she has always watched over me.
¿Recuerdas a
Do
tu
you
padre?
remember your father?
No, I was just a baby then. My mother always told me how strong and good he was.
Do you ever think about getting married?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. Mum always says
Si no quiere
I'm still a
casarse, ¿por qué no se
child who
case?
has no idea how tough life can be. No husband would like a clumsy girl like me.
Tu vida en Londres.
Why are
Despierta de
you
noche.
awake at night?
I am helping my mother in her shop. It's not easy, but I'm a grown-up now.
I'm sure your mother.
I do the best I can.
A
But I'm
veces
so
soy un poco
clumsy.
torpe. ¿Trabajo
Why
difícil?
is work?
Oh no, most people are gentle with me. But I'm so nervous sometimes. I pay no attention.
Pues nervioso y a veces no pasa nada, hombre.
Good thing my mum learned first aid.
Vale, ya tenemos ahí... Y la otra hablándonos por detrás.
What can you tell me
Vale,
of the
más
people
pistas.
living nearby?
I don't speak to many people.
What can you tell me about them?
Madre mía, Jonathan, la verdad es que la estás un poco agobiando, creo, con tantas preguntas, ¿eh?
Have you no friends at all?
No.
Does he not come by anymore?
No. Mum said he was weird.
La vas a asustar, Jonathan, tío. Vale.
Goodbye.
Déjala leer un rato.
Good
Uy.
evening, young.
Dale dos si quieres. Habla de esto.
Goodbye.
Es verdad, lo que no hemos visto es si
Do you
necesitan
need my...
No.
Goodbye.
curación. Entiendo que no.
Dr. Reed, I am sorry.
De esta hemos conseguido una prueba más.
Perhaps you should talk.
Sobre la virtud de Carol.
I'm taking care of my daughter as well as I can.
No siempre es fácil, pero ella es
But
el
she'll
mejor.
probably leave you someday to live her own life. Will that be difficult for you?
Why would she leave? Children sometimes stay with their parents until the end, for they know no one else will love them as much.
Buena
Goodbye for
referencia.
Dr. Reed, I am.
Dr. Reed. Lo haremos por aquí. Ahí está nuestro nuevo escondite. Esto entiendo que es para salir, ¿no? No, hombre, no. No te he pedido que salgas, Jonathan. Ojito, ¿eh? El setup que tiene aquí Jonathan. Poca broma. Sangre vigorosa espesa. Sí, pero esto no lo encontramos, ¿eh? Tratamiento cefalea y tal. Úsalo para curar fórmula desconocida. No, que no lo encontramos, ¿eh? Vale, creo que no vamos a usar los puntos. Tenemos 2500. Pero no vamos a usarlos. Vamos a ahorrar para la niebla, yo creo. El próximo día. A ver qué tal va la ciudad. ¿Cómo? Vale, esta es la que ha desaparecido, claro. Y luego hay otro babo que está desaparecido también. No sabemos si será este. Bueno, tiene que ser este o este. Cefalea. Agotamiento. Agotamiento. Vale, de aquí se ponen enfermos. Estable, vale. Esto va crítico, Resfriado. Vale, intentaré buscar fuera de cámaras cómo se consigue lo de la migraña y lo otro.
Girl, you got me shook from the way your body looks. Got me riding hooks, got me feeling like a rook. I don't do it by the book, but for you I'll take a look. Don't know what your mama took, sweet and spicy like a cook, yeah.